Day 3. We have made it to day 3. So honored to have you. Thank you for joining me. So let's dive straight in here. What I want to talk to you about today, brain waves, which I think I was going to talk about that yesterday, but something else was speaking to me. So we're going to talk about brain waves today, for real. We're going to talk about heart-brain coherence. We're going to talk about gratitude and how all of this works in a beautiful way to shift your life into a better space. How it makes you a better parent, a better grandparent, better at whatever job you have, a better communicator. It just makes life better and draws all the goodness from the universe into you. So let's talk about brain coherence, coherent brain waves. So what physicists have found, neuroscientists have found in studies, is that when you go into a meditative state, which would be like a theta brain wave, that if you do it often and you do it the right way, which really the right way is just practicing it often, consistently, and really taking your time at it and committing yourself to it, that what happens to your brain is your brain waves all start to become coherent. Your brain waves start to move in a similar pattern. And so what does this mean? This means that we are creating new neuronal pathways. This means that parts of our brain that don't normally talk to each other, like right side, left side, are talking to each other. So they see these lovely, coherent, similar patterns throughout the entire brain. And so what does this mean? This means that we are in a state to receive, and we are in a state to communicate in a very positive way. So let's talk about the converse of that. There is also a brain wave called alpha. So alpha is the brain wave that starts to occur when we wake up in the morning. We see light, your eyes tell the pineal gland to release serotonin, and we start to wake up and the brain waves start to move faster. And I'll go ahead and tell you about delta. At night, when we go to bed, light shuts down, the pineal gland starts to release melatonin, and this puts us into a slower brain wave. Let's go back to alpha though. There is a brain wave, it's high alpha. Does anyone know what's going on in high alpha? Throw it in the comments if you do. So when we are in a high alpha brainwave state, we are in a new place to communicate. We are in chaos. We are stressed out. We are angry about something, and we should just breathe and keep our mouths shut. So, for instance, I'll give you a specific situation for me. When I am at work, every Tuesday, I'm a nurse 1 day a week. And when we have a code situation, so it's a life and death situation, someone is needing CPR, you're going through this process and you're in this like very excited phase where you are literally fighting for someone's life. And so as a new nurse, that is a struggle, because it is very hard to act rationally and know what the next step is when your brain is firing all over the place, because you've got all of these hormones, all of these signals being sent out that, oh my gosh, something's wrong here, we've got to make a change, someone's got to be saved. So then as a more experienced nurse, you can control that a little better. But I want to tell you, since I have been meditating, the situations that I experience under pressure at work are very, very different than they used to be before I meditated. And so what I found is that when I go into a CPR situation, a code situation, I'm having to help save someone's life, in the moment, that adrenaline is pumping, but I'm able to make decisions more clearly. I'm able to be a better team leader. And then I also found that afterwards, I used to be really shaky for quite some time after the code. My heart would be racing, and I couldn't get rid of that feeling. And a lot of times I would carry that feeling with me throughout the shift. This last code situation that we had, which was about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, what I noticed is the nurse who was involved with me in the code situation. She said to me, oh my God, my hands are still shaking. This is probably 10 or 15 minutes later, her hands were still shaking. And I realized that all of my vitals had gone back to normal very quickly. My hands were not shaking. My heart was not beating. I was not sweating, and my mind was not racing. So this is the power of meditation. So when we meditate and we go into a theta brainwave and we create these coherent brain waves where everything is communicating beautifully within our brain, when we step out of that meditation, we take a piece of that with us. And so the more we meditate, the more consistently, the longer we take that feeling with us. Ask my kids. My kids will vouch for me. My kids know that every morning mom gets at least 40 minutes to meditate. That's her time, and they embrace it because they know that I'm a better mom. I am calmer. My reaction time is slower. Like, I will breathe. When something happens, I will take a deep breath and I will process it before I react. So as a parent, let's say, I'll give an example there. A couple days ago, I got a new computer, and this poor computer has already been through it. And James, my 6-year-old, he like dove onto the bed, didn't see my computer, and busted his lip really hard and actually kind of broke it apart a little bit. It's fine. And I had not meditated, and my reaction was not okay. I reacted from emotion. So what happens is when you're in these high, excited brain waves, you can only come into contact with that which is sitting on the same level of that current emotion. So my anger toward him, and I yelled at him, my anger toward him immediately changed my timeline and started drawing the same negative circumstances into me. And so I did step back, and that's another thing that meditation has helped me with, is when I do react like that, I will forgive myself, I will ask for forgiveness, but then I will say, okay, you've stepped into a space that you don't want to be. I'm like hyper aware of what I'm doing and how I'm reacting, and I shift immediately. So we're human, right? We're going to have negative responses, but the acknowledgement of it is key. And then to shift, like, how long are you going to stay in that space, right? Are you going to allow it to become part of your personality? Because your personality creates your personal reality. So the longer we sit in these like excited brain waves and these states of negativity, the more that it becomes ingrained in our brain. We create neural pathways and we become addicted to these behaviors because the chemicals that are released, even though they're not great, even though the outcome's not great, we become addicted to these patterns. So then you have an addiction that you have to break. And when you attempt to step out of that regular dramatic behavior, your brain says, wait a minute, what are you doing? I felt pretty safe over here. I don't want you to make that change. So, for instance, let's say I used to be a very snappy person. I snapped at people all the time. I was always snapping at my kids. I used to drink alcohol more than I really wanted to. I used to eat things that really weren't good for my body. Not that I don't do those things still, because I'm imperfect and I'm willing to accept that and claim that and love myself through that. But as I started making the shift and realizing the desire to change, something would come up because my body would be like, what are you doing? We were kind of safe over there. Like, it was pretty well working. We felt pretty safe. And then you have this like resistance within you. This split energy is what Abraham would call it. You've got this split energy inside of you saying, oh, go ahead, do it. Go ahead, do it. Just do it. That's what you were doing. We were safe over there. So then you've got to really step through it and be intentional about not reverting to those old patterns. And so what tools do we use? Meditation, gratitude, distraction, positive affirmation. When you start to go into those old patterns, you stop, take a quiet moment, take some deep breaths, write a list of gratitudes of how your life has changed since you have shifted away from that behavior, a pattern interrupt, something to stop you in your tracks and allow you time to refocus before you make a decision in a very excitatory brainwave pattern that's not going to make sense, that's not going to be a good decision. And so what I'm learning is that, you know, we have billions of signals are sent to our brain every single second. Billions upon billions upon billions. I'm talking like 400 billion or something crazy like that. 80% of those signals are coming through our eyes. And so this is why closing your eyes during meditation is so important. That way you can really step into the mind where what is in here becomes more real than what is out there. And then there was something else I wanted to say about that. Brain waves for, okay. So my point there with all of these signals coming into our brain is your brain has to pick and choose what it's going to allow you to see. It's got to pick and choose because you can't possibly take all of that in at once. And so what happens is the brain chooses to allow you to process that which is in your current emotional framework, your current emotional state. And so this is why it's so important to maintain a high vibration emotion, to tap into those feelings of freedom and love and joy and peace. And one of the greatest ways we can do that is to take time for ourselves every day to meditate. And so, you know, applying this to our children are really in a subconscious brainwave at the beginning of their lives until they're at least 6 years old, and still fluctuate more than we do in and out until they're at least 12. So if we can establish these patterns within our children, we are arming them, we are preparing them, we are giving them a tool that they can take with them for the rest of their lives and really understand that they are molding and shaping their lives with every word they speak, with every thought they think, and with every action that they take. So I really want to encourage you to share this information with your children. And on this group, if you scroll through and look in the units, you will see I have posted different books that are based on the metaphysical, like understanding the mind in a simplified way for children. And there are also some meditations that are specifically for children that are really wonderful, and I like to do them with my children. It's a really lovely way for us to spend time together. And sometimes we'll even sit down and put our hands on each other's hearts and synchronize our heartbeats, which is really cool. Tomorrow the kids will be with me, and I think that we'll do that at the end of this next round of quantum inspiration. So now, if you have any questions, I would love for you to pop them in the comments. I will absolutely reply to all the comments and answer all of the questions. If you need clarity on anything, I'm happy to provide that as well. Throw a replay in the comments if you're watching the replay. And so let's go ahead and go into our meditation. What I want to do this time is I want to help you to connect your heart and mind coherence. And when we connect our heart and mind, we become an electromagnetic signal that is amplified and sent out to the universe. And we're talking about the law of attraction, right? And as we push that electromagnetic signal out into the universe, we draw back in with equal force that which is good or that which is bad, depending on how we are thinking, feeling, and acting. So let's go ahead and take a couple of minutes, activate our heart and mind, and really drop into our heart space and step into gratitude. Gratitude is a very, very high frequency emotion. And when we are grateful for that which we have, more shall be delivered. When we are not grateful for that which we have, no more will be delivered, and what we have will be taken away. So I want you to take a nice deep breath in And what we're going to do, I'm going to be doing some hand motions, which you can do with me. I find that the hand motions kind of help me to visualize a little bit and really feel into it. You can do it or not do it. Whatever resonates with you is completely fine. What we're going to do is we will be breathing in and really focusing on our third eye as we breathe in, visualizing that breath going into our brain, into our mind. Then we'll be exhaling and really feeling that breath drop down into activating the heart. So we'll be going like this, in and down. We're going to start with our eyes closed first. Take a nice deep breath, and I'll tell you what I would like you to visualize. Deep breath in, deep, deep down in your belly. And exhale. And in. And exhale. I want you to visualize a star coming down from the heavens, dropping into your mind, through your crown, the very top of your head, and traveling down into your heart space, activating your heart space, shining bright, enhancing your feelings of love, light, and gratitude. Take another deep breath and exhale. I want you to visualize as you breathe in, the breath going in to your mind through your third eye. And as you exhale, it dropping down into your heart space. So breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more. Breathe in and out. I want you to place your hands over your heart, and every breath you take, I want you to visualize the expansion as you inhale and the contraction as you exhale of your heart. We're going to take some nice, deep, slow belly breaths. Breathe in and expand, and out, contract. Breathe in, expand, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. One more. Breathe in and out. Keep your hands over your heart and feel the beating of your heart. Focus on the beat and only the beat. As thoughts come in, release them and focus on the beat of your heart. I want you to see a green light swirling over your heart. Smile. Now, I want you to picture someone in your life that brings up love, joy, and positive emotion. Can be anyone. Your child, your grandchild, a teacher, a grandparent. I want you to see them standing in front of you, smiling at you. There's a green light swirling around them, protecting them, healing them, and letting them feel the massive amount of love that you are feeling for them right now. They're smiling at you. Continue to look at them and really feel the love that you have for them. Picture a fun time that you've had together, or a warm hug that you've shared with them. Really tap into that feeling. Take a deep breath. Do you feel it? Smile. They're smiling back at you. Feel that love. Feel that high vibration, frequency, and emotion, the joy. This is our brain tapping in to our heart. Love. Tell them that you love them. And hear them say it back to you. Now, you're going to take a deep breath. As you inhale, this green light around your heart and around your loved one is going to grow immensely. Then you're going to blow out your breath with great intensity, and you're going to see this green light around them and the green light of your heart burst out into the universe farther than any eyes can see. Take a deep breath in. Fill that belly deep, deep, deep. That light has grown. And now I want you to blow out with great intensity and release all of that love and gratitude and joy out to the universe. And it has burst out into the universe. All of that positive emotion. Now your next deep breath in, you're going to draw all of that joy, peace, love, gratitude, positive experience right back into you and right back into them, right into both of your heart spaces. Take a deep breath, and here it comes. And exhale. And now your heart is just absorbing all of that goodness. Just relax, drop your shoulders, drop your hands, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes when you're ready. That was good. That felt really good. Okay. I want you to tell me how you feel in the comments. What did you see? What did you feel? Who was your person? What experience were you having with them? I was seeing my children, and we were holding hands, spinning around in a circle, just being playful and having so much fun. That was good. Wow, it is really nice, and this is about taking imperfect action. Like I just dove into this, just stepping into faith that the information will be delivered to me. And what I'm finding is that I feel so much more comfortable and confident bringing this information to you. So it's really up-leveling me and increasing my gratitude for myself and my gratitude for you and my belief and my ability to do this And then that was really one of the first times that I feel like I was actually able to deliver a meditation without nerves and actually not just lead it, but fully participate in it. So that's a really cool growth experience for me. Thank you for being part of that. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope to see you back tomorrow, and we'll kind of wrap up everything. And thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and tap into all that goodness that's coming your way because of what you just released out into the quantum field. The law of attraction. We are magnets. It will all come back to you. I promise. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.